Yo, what's up, guys? I was messing up all the settings. We got Pikachu in the house. All right, over there. My co-host. Got his white belt all messed up. Yeah. So we got a couple stories. We'll just get kind of into it, and people jump in as they jump in. So again, we had USA Wrestling. You had the World Team Trials event last weekend. So I found one really good athlete, Diamond Guilford. So she had some really inspirational things to say. So we'll just listen to her for a little bit, and then we got a couple stories. Of course, we got the if you saw the thumbnail, we got Marcelo story. We got Dean Lister story. So we'll jump in. Let me refresh it.
It's because I remember who I am. I'm Diamond Guilford. I've been to around the world so many times. I've learned so many lessons as a age group girl. Like, I put in the time, the effort. I've dedicated myself to this. So whenever I remember who Diamond is, that's when she gets to shine and stuff like that. So that's what happened during my first Final X a few years ago. And that's why I'm hoping to remember myself when I go into this one. Win, lose, or draw. Hopefully win. Please, God. But win, lose, or draw, that's what I'm going in, is remembering who Diamond is. So every time I win a really big match, it's because I remember who I am. I'm Diamond Guilford. I've been to around the world so many times. I've learned so many lessons as a age group girl. Like, I put in the time, the effort. I've dedicated myself to this. So whenever I remember who Diamond is, that's when she gets to shine and stuff like that. So that's what happened during my first Final X a few years ago. And that's why I'm hoping to remember myself when I go into this one. Win, lose, or draw. Hopefully win. Please, God. But win, lose, or draw, that's what I'm going in, is remembering who Diamond is. So
Yeah, respect to her, man. So she punched her ticket to Final X, so that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, she punched that ticket to Final X, and shoot, I'm trying to go to Final X as a spectator. It says faith, confidence, and identity for Diamond Guilford. Staying grounded on and off the mat starts with remembering who she is and whose she is. So I think that's really important because a lot of this stuff is mental, guys. A lot of it's mental. Just very mental. That's it. It's just mental, man. If you go in believing in yourself, you'll do well. When you're doubting yourself, you won't do as well. Your ability is going to be a little bit lacking a lot of times. Oh, we got the chat going on, guys? Bro, I'm going to be honest. I can't see anybody in my chat. Let me try to refresh my chat over here. Yo, my chat ain't showing nobody. I can't see nothing over here. Okay, I see it. I had to refresh it, guys. Let me make sure. Are you guys leaving comments out there? Man, I can't see nothing, bro. God, dog. I guess we go okay. I guess. If you're joining us, we're just covering this story from USA Wrestling. Some people ask me why we cover wrestling, why we cover judo. I say it's because it's good to learn about the other sports. I'm over here in Jersey, bro. We got we got Pikachu over here, bro. New setup. I got a little light beam right here, but it's okay. Yeah, I like Pikachu. He cool. He ain't got no legs or arms, but he cool. Yeah, so again, we're kind of studying wrestling because it's very similar to jiu-jitsu, right? Amateur sport, trying to become more professional. You got different leagues popping up. You got a lot of money being injected into the sport. You got a lot of troublemakers. I mean, it's basically the same. We're in the same family, man. Judo, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling. We're in the same family. So good luck to her. I like seeing the people come up, believing in themselves and ready to kind of shine. So talking about wrestling, USA Wrestling, we got USA Grappling. So we got a young man sharing a story about the USA Grappling that's coming up.
If I told you could go D1 in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Kind of. So April 23rd, I woke up and I looked on TikTok because I'm addicted to TikTok and scrolling on the USA Grappling
We'll
where
watch
I
it
saw
more than once 'cause
UCLA
he's
versus
talking pretty
UCSD.
fast.
Then I thought to myself, that's weird. And then I looked more and then I was like, oh, that's where they're doing jiu-jitsu. And I looked even more and I saw, oh my God, they're doing a college jiu-jitsu tournament. So then I had a genius idea to message USA Grappling where I talked to a guy named Jim who then gave me the instructions on how to get my college into the entire league. Turns out they're making the NCGA, which is the National Collegiate Grappling Association. So to answer your question, no, you can't go D1 and BJJ yet. But in the meantime, if you're a college, you should definitely join so that I can come and kick your ass.
So we'll watch that again. He Gen Z, so he talking really fast. I'm talking a little slow over here. I'm tired. I got beat up over here. Danny Chopper says, glad to hear Marcelo is better. Yeah, I think he's been in remission or cancer free for a couple years, so that's awesome. Cancer can't beat Marcelo Garcia, guys. Come on out there, guys. So again, we got USA Grappling that's coming up, and right now it's in the collegiate system. They also do, I think, AGF and some other tournaments. They don't cover, but some tournaments they do. They give you some insurance for non-covered events. So I'm still working on my USA Grappling. I got to get through the Safe Sport, bro. That Safe Sport is, I think I did a video on it yesterday on the blind judo girl, the fake blind judo girl. So we found out that Kyle Snyder was listed on the Safe Sport website, which had him as he wasn't banned, but he was like suspended temporarily. But man, they had a lot of wrestling coaches over there, guys. A lot of wrestling coaches were I don't know how many. I think it only went back to like 2005. They had a lot of wrestling coaches that had, allegations of misconduct and other even worse stuff on there. So if you guys want to watch that video, check out my yesterday video on the fake blind judo girl. Somehow. So we'll read this comments and then we'll go back to the video. He's talking really fast. Gen Z, he going fast, bro. This could be huge, so you should like, share, and follow so that more people get involved. And the more people, the less work we'll have to do. So right now it's on the club level. So what has to happen is you have to have a coach who's USA Grappling approved. You just got to pay the fee and do the Safe Sport training and background check. You got to be affiliated with the college, and then they can start a club in which the student athletes can become USA Grappling athletes. And then once you get that set, you got your coach, you got your athletes, or an affiliated club, you can start competing. You can start doing dual meets with other academies, so other schools. So that's pretty awesome. So it's going to take a while. It's kind of right now it's grassroots. So, videos like this help. Videos like his helps. So, yeah, bro, the comments were hilarious. They're like, I didn't see anything wrong with this. Yeah. They're making blind jokes. But, bro, it's hilarious, but it's a little jacked up at the same time. And she actually won gold at the Tokyo Paralympics, Then she drove off and she got in her car and drove off. We covered that yesterday. So if you guys want to watch that video later, you can. I just keep it moving, bro. It says, I need to be in collegiate tournament ASAP. So you do have to be in college right now to do these tournaments. They do a world champion, like a world team trials, which I kind of missed, but they do a world team trials maybe once or twice a year. I think last month they did it. So you can compete for a spot on the USA Grappling team, world team. Someone says, I don't need to get my butt kicked on live stream. I saw you get warmongered. I don't know how to say that. Stay away from me. Let's see. How'd you get a school to be a team? How did you get your school to be a team? I'm glad you asked. You go to NCGA website or like message them on Instagram and they'll send you a place to email and then ask for information. They should give it to you. It says everyone share and interact with this video so more people see it and we can make this into a real thing, please. So right now, California is kind of coming through. I believe this guy is in Texas or Florida or somewhere. Yeah, Florida, I believe. So yeah, it's grassroots, guys. You gotta, if you know any collegiate athletes, any college grapplers, tell them to sign up for USA Grappling and to, start the process over there. Pretty grassroots. It's not too expensive. I'm screwed because I have to do 2 background checks, so I already paid for the regular background check, but I had to do an international background check, so I got to pay for that out of pocket too. So that kind of sucks for me. It's a little bit more expensive. I saw the fee. I was like, whoa, I better wait for a second. I'm like, bro, I thought. As far as I know, it is no gi, but I don't think they have any rules as far as gi or no, as far as the gi. So they could probably add it. It's just starting right now. I think no gi was probably easier to get up and running, easier to get the uniforms kind of made. The gi. If you want to make a gi with all the teams and all the schools, it's gonna take a while. But the no gi stuff they can pop that out a lot faster. And with that advent of the no-gi tournaments, ADCC Opens, New Breeds, and Nagas, and all that stuff, I think the talent pool is a lot bigger. And then it's not as messy. When you got the gi, you gotta, what belt are you? Okay, we gotta certify you as this belt. So right now, if it's collegiate, sport, they just throw everybody in there together. You got the dude that just started grappling. You got the dude that been training for 4 years. You got the dude that's been doing it since he was 4. So yeah. So we're gonna listen to the video again. Again, he's a Gen Z, so he talking fast. Okay, nothing I can do about that.
If I told you could go D1 in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Kind of. So April 23rd, I woke up and I looked on TikTok because I'm addicted to TikTok and scrolling on the USA Grappling where I saw UCLA versus UCSD. Then I thought to myself, that's weird. And then I looked more and then I was like, oh, that's where they're doing jiu-jitsu. And I looked even more and I saw, oh my God, they're doing a college jiu-jitsu tournament. So then I had a genius idea to message USA Grappling where I talked to a guy named Jim who then gave me the instructions on how to get my college into the entire league. Turns out they're making the NCGA, which is the National Collegiate Grappling Association. So to answer your question, no, you can't go D1 and BJJ yet. But in the meantime, if you're a college, you should definitely join so that I can come and kick your ass.
So yeah, he pretty cocky. Everybody's cocky when they're young, right? So if you know any college grapplers, let them know about that. Get them started with the process. I would love to become a coach but I'm not affiliated with a college just yet. So I think as more black belts get the coaches certification, and with USA Grappling, that's going to grow some more. So they're doing grassroots. Grassroots, I don't know. It doesn't really work too well. It's kind of the same problem that World Pro has. So I think USA Grappling might need to partner with one of the bigger tournaments, Jiu-Jitsu World League. I think they partner with AGF in a few things. IBJJF ain't a real federation, but maybe there's some other company out there that maybe even ADCC Open or something, even though it's an international company. So they got to look into that. They got to tap into their connections, reach out to people. So we will get to the Dean Lister and Marcelo stuff. We got a couple stories, guys. This is like a morning show. I don't rush it. Certain videos I can rush and go through real fast, but I don't need to go. Do you guys want me to rush through all the stories? No, you want me to take my time, delve into the details, leave a couple stories, make fun of a couple people, start some drama a little bit. It says B Team Star explains why training in the gi can make you better at no gi. You guys hear that? Put your gis on. Put your expensive gis on. In a bold series of social media posts, Chris Wojcik. Yeah, I mean that's how they communicate. Very fast paced, very information heavy. Very fast food. You ain't got time to chew the information. They're just shoving it down your throat. Pause on that. I try my best. I got a lot of patience. I've been teaching kids for a long time. I mean, I'm a little burnt out on that, but I developed a lot of patience. So Chris Wojcik says he is reignited in old age debate in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Does gi training actually make you better at no gi? His answer is confident. Yes. I think we talked about this. How many gi world champions are doing well in no gi? And I could list a million of them. I cannot, however, list any no gi people that are doing really well in gi outside of Mason Fowler. That's the only no gi person I could think of that did well in the gi. You could almost say, what's the big catch wrestler guy? I can't remember his name. A huge guy, Josh Barnett. He's the only other guy I could think of that put the gi on, and he was doing some damage. We watched him versus Homola Bahal in one match a long time ago. He actually did some work. So two people, Mason Fowler and whatchamacallit, homeboy, I just said, Josh Barnett. Otherwise, we look at the reverse. I can bring up Mika Gaval, Diogo, Baby Shark, Diego Pato, Fabricio Andre, Mika, the Rotullo Bros, Giancarlo, Ryan Aiken, Cyborg, Lovato, Buchecha, Cobrinha, Hoffa Mendez. I can bring up a ton of gi people that went over to no gi and dominated. I can't say the opposite, though. You could maybe throw AJ Agazarm in there because he, wrestled pretty high level, and then went over to, he did a gi too in Ugi. That is true. Mighty Mouse. I don't know if he has a wrestling background, but yeah, Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse don't even compete in no-gi. He hates no-gi. But he'll show up at Pans, He says the best way to develop a strong open guard in no-gi is to train in gi. Yeah, because it's tough to play open guard in gi. They be grabbing those pants, can't break the grips. They be jumping left and right. Passing works so much better in the gi, guys. Passing in gi is just like, you can do whatever you want. He says, according to him, the gi adds layers of complexity, grips, friction, slower tempo, which force practitioners to build tighter technique and stronger fundamentals. He argues that these challenges create a technical base that directly benefits guard retention, sweeps, and even passing in no-gi. Wojcik isn't alone in his views. He pointed out that some of the best guard players in modern no-gi, Mikey, I forgot about Mikey Musumeci, Diogo Pato, Levi Jones, we forgot about Levi. All your favorite no-gi guys are gi people, except for basically, Nicky Rod, the only dude that don't wear the gi. All built, even the Tackett Bros. You guys love the Tackett Bros. They trained in kids class. They were wearing the gi. All built their games through the years training in the gi. Even Lackland, known for his no-gi leg lock mastery, spent much of his early development training and competing in the gi. They get to a certain level, they don't have to do as much gi, or they don't have to do any gi. Even Craig Jones, even Gordon Ryan, they all put the gi on at a certain point. And that gives them a little bit of an edge over people that never put the gi on. Yeah, all these guys. I'm not saying you got to put the gi on forever, at least initially in your development, Put the gi on when you start. I mean, people start jiu-jitsu now and they're just like, I just do no-gi. Bro, you don't know anything. Why? Try everything, guys. Try a little bit of no-gi, try a little bit of gi. Try some takedowns, try a little bit of everything. Don't limit yourself to one thing. That's kind of stupid, really, because you don't know what you're good at. What if you only did no-gi and then come to find out, man, you're a phenom in the gi? God, dog, you like, shoot, you could have been winning some stuff. Especially if you got some glass feet, you better put that gi on. If you ain't got no, Yeah, these kids weren't even old enough to train no gi in ADCC. You know. Yeah. I mean, look at them now. You can't even tell. That might be changing because you got ADCC Open. But I assure you, because ADCC Open is, it's growing. It's growing. Ultimately, it's limited. Think about this, guys. Well, they got the repage, the third place rounds, so you can actually get a lot of matches. But think about this: in IBJJF, kids can do. Can kids do nogi? I don't know if they can do nogi. But let's look at adults. Let's look at adults. Adults, if you can do gi and nogi at the open tournaments, at the IBJJF tournaments. You can do gi and nogi. So I'm not saying you're gonna get more matches, but you're gonna get different looks. You're gonna get more experiences, and in absolute, so you could potentially do 4 divisions. You could do 4 different divisions. You can do your weight, gi, nogi, absolute. They don't have. I don't think they have wipeout nogi, but everybody else has nogi. So you can do gi, nogi, absolute, absolute. You can do 4 possible divisions in a weekend. ADCC Open, you kind of stuck at just doing your weight and maybe absolute. But things are changing. There's kids that know the ADCC system and the rules, so they're going to be geared to that. The only downside is that the ADCC rules don't make sense. I was like, I had my match ADCC Open. I was like, bro, I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, what? That wasn't the sweep. I'm looking like, what is going on? So I got to say, I think the IBJJF rule set is more logical, makes more sense. ADCC, I'm like, I don't know what the rules are. And I've done ADCC, guys. I've done it a couple times. I still don't know what the rules are. But IBJJF, it seems to me more organized to where I can conceptualize, what points I have, what advantages I have, if I'm up, if I'm down. You can internally calculate what's going on. When I do ADCC, I'm like, what is going on? And it's more subjective, I think. The referee, there's one referee at the table. There's no other side referees, or maybe at the bigger tournaments there might be. Maybe at the trials there's side referees. I don't know if they got earpiece. They got no way to communicate. They're doing hand signs. So I'm a little harsh on both. Let me keep reading. Going on my rants, bro. That must mean I'm getting old. Another example mentioned in the discussion is Sam McNally, who made waves after beating Gary Tonin. He beat him with the gi technique. He beat him with the Cobrinha, the Cobrinha armbar, overhook armbar when they grab your pant from open guard. Yeah, that was a gi technique, bro, for sure. His game is built on a guard that's nearly impossible to pass, one that attributes in part to gi training. But this isn't about today's stars. Looking back at the legends, you got Hadra Gracie, Marcelo Garcia, Jacare, Sanji, even Gordon Ryan, widely regarded as the greatest no-gi grappler of all time, trained and competed in the gi until brown belt. He developed the base of his positional and guard work through gi jiu-jitsu before specializing exclusively in no-gi. They got the AI generated article over here. We'll read it though. Why the gi works as a training tool. Actually, I just want to. Can we watch a match real fast? Am I in the right YouTube? Okay, there we go. Hey, that's my video right there. Yeah. Imagine your coach is like, well, I can only do no-gi. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not actually a gi black belt. I was looking for the match. Oh, did they not have it? I don't really want to see him rolling with the. I was looking for him versus Tommy Lankicker. Well, here's him and Gordon and Craig Jones. It's crazy how people were friends for a second and then enemies for a lifetime.
Look how small Gordon is. I don't think Gordon would have done well in the G, guys. I'm sorry. Cause he, dang. Friday's hard, bro. Friday. Hey, look at Craig, bro. That was a good technique. Man, you guys, I don't like the gi. Look at your star. Look at your favorite people over there training with the gi on.
You gotta stop filming. You can't find a spot.
I don't like the gi. Craig Jones is going right over there rolling with the gi. Oh, nah, Gordon would get murked. He would get murked in the gi. Eric Muniz would jump all over. Look at Craig. Craig was doing good. God dog. God dog. Woo. I forgot they used to be similar size for a second. Gordon, thank God Gordon, well, he could put the gi on, guys. He wouldn't have been able to do anything. He too slow, bro.
You can't tap Craig Jones with a toe hold, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Gordon Ryan could not have competed at black belt in the gi, guys. How? He'd be fighting Eric Muniz. Do you guys know how good Eric Muniz is? Eric Muniz can do a flying back take, flying bolo. Maybe he would have done okay, but I don't know. Yeah, a match for Craig Jones from 12 years ago. I don't really want to see that though. I want to see Gordon Ryan versus Tommy Lenkiker. Can we not find that? I can't spell his name. Let me read that in a second. I think they fight a purple. Oh, 12 years ago. Is that Gordon Ryan with the gi on? Back when he was regular Ryan? Human Ryan? All right, we'll watch one match of him in the gi. See how good your hero was. No-gi only guys said sad because the only no-gi guys who have been successful lately are J-Rod and Nicky Rod. Yeah, and they wrestled. Well, you got PJ Barch. He's been doing well, too. 50% of the list is kind of sus. Maybe 100%. Yeah, I mean, all the dudes that win are gi people, really. Why is that, though? Where are the really skilled no-gi guys? They might be coming through. I think the technique is. I'm gonna be honest, guys. After doing ADCC Open, I think just there's some really good no-gi guys. There's some really good wrestlers. They be running away, bro. Them wrestlers be running away. I gotta find it. I mean, Gordon's not a human, bro. He's super. Yeah. Well, you can't break the dude's grip. You can't move him. What are you supposed to do? Who was the guy that was rolling with them? Who was rolling with Nick Gordon? Was it Nicholas Mergali? Who was rolling with them? Some of these guys be starstruck, or they just kind of going light. They got the cameras on them. Flow grappling there, filming everything. The dude ain't gonna train hard. We need the dude that beat what's the dude, the Bradley guy? Bradley Hill or whatever. We need the Brazilian dude. I gotta find that video for you guys. Let's watch this first though. The music got me. Or I already got hit on the music before. Let's see how good Gordon was it. What year is this? 7 years ago? 2015. Jesus. I was a black belt that. I was a black belt then. All right, so Gordon, skinny. Look at him. Skinny Gordon Ryan. Apparently the technique didn't work that well back then. The technique wasn't working back then when he was that skinny. Maybe he won this match. I don't know. Woo! This is your guys' hero, bro. Stuck in De La Hiva. Stuck in De La Hiva. That's your guy's hero right there. Jason said he was doing pretty well in the gi. Well, he's got the purple belt or brown belt in the gi, so I would hope he was okay. Man, I don't know how Gordon Ryan got so good. Because what I'm watching right now. Woo! You guys want, bro? I could pull up some Brazilian purple belts. You want to see some Brazilian purple belts? With the highlights with the Brazilian funk on there, they be Jesus. All right, Gordon doing okay. I don't know. Without the supplements, bro, I don't think Gordon he would have been able to do all the stuff he did. But you know, his technique, yeah, decent technique. You know, Renzo Gracie guy, he trained with the most humble man in jiu-jitsu. Oh, I'm sorry, my rib. Oh my God, I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. All right, I'm tired of that. Let's go back to the thing over here. Wojcik made an interesting point. Passing the guard is actually more fun than the gi. That's because the guard becomes more difficult to pass. Your opponents have more weapons to slow you down or trap you. This forces the passer to use better posture, angles, and pressure. So you know how they're trying to gamify everything? Well, when you put the gi on, everything, you got to monitor all these things going on. You got to monitor the grips, the pressure, the angles, everything. Up. He's got my lapel now. Dang it. That's another layer of complexity there. This forces the passer to use better posture, angles, pressure. In short, the gi demands more precise movement, which often translate to better efficiency and control in no-gi. Chael Sonnen, a former UFC fighter, you guys know Chael Sonnen, we don't have to talk about what he does, emphasized the mental and technical benefits of gi training. It allows for more measured, controlled roles and opportunity to train with better partners without relying on speed or athleticism. Yeah, when I'm training with big people, I like to have the gi there. The gi, I'm like, yeah, thank God I got something to grab. No gi, I'm like, well, I better start pushing. Bro, it's so much harder for people. Well, it's harder for in no gi, the wrestlers can stall. They can run away. I assure you, in the gi, I don't care what kind of wrestler I fight. I can make a grip. I can slow that dude down. I'm gonna throw something at him. I'm gonna throw something at that wrestler dude. I don't care what he's on. I can throw something at that wrestler dude to slow him down, trap him up, slip him up. In the gi, you can work some magic, bro. In the gi, no gi, well, you're like, well, I'm screwed. Can't grab the dude. Can't hold the dude. Can't sweep the dude. In the gi, I can figure out something. I'm gonna wrap this gi around something. This gi's getting wrapped around something. You know, I'd be ranting, guys. It allows for more measured control roles. Yada 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 yada. Someone compare gi training to strength and conditioning. It may not directly simulate a fight, but it sharpens the tools needed to perform better. And what fight are you guys in where you can't grab nothing? Well, I can't grab it. I can't grab his hair. I can't grab his shirt. People are always like, well, no gi simulates the fight. Have you guys seen real fights? They grab and pull. Yeah, I might look for it. I don't really care to see Gordon Ryan training in the gi. I'd rather watch somebody good training in the gi. I'm sorry. I was watching that purple belt match. I was like, let me get out of here. Gordon Ryan has publicly said that the gi is on its way out, which is possible, but the IBJJF numbers don't agree with that, predicting that top-level grappling will continue to shift toward no gi. Well, that's top level. Jiu-jitsu is a very bottom-heavy. We got the pyramid, guys. That's jiu-jitsu. The top might be no gi, but the bottom is all gi. Think about all the masters level dudes. Masters guys don't even do no gi. Do you guys know any masters dudes training no gi? Maybe the dudes on all the TRT or whatever. They might be doing no gi. But think about all the regular dudes. They got the 9 to 5 or 10 to 10. 9 to 10, 8 to 10. I don't know what hours you guys be working. They got the wife at home. They got the kids. They can't afford to go tear their ACL. No, they're going to put the gi on, pull guard, have their 5-minute match. All right, I'm done. Go home. And think about kids. Which one are kids doing more of? No gi or gi? I assure you, look at Pikachu. Even Pikachu got his belt on. No kids want that belt. They want them stripes. They want that black belt. People don't even know. You tell people you do no-gi, they go, oh, are you a black belt? They don't know what no-gi means. If you say you do jiu-jitsu and they're like, oh, what belt are you? And you do no-gi, what are you supposed to say? Well, I'm technically a 10th purple belt, but really I don't actually have a belt. Who knows what that means? If you talk to a random person, they ask you, what belt are you? Oh, I'm a blue belt. I'm a purple belt. I'm a brown belt. I'm a black belt. They talking about the gi. They ain't talking about, oh, well, I do the intermediate no-gi division. Who? Well, I'm actually not ranked. I only train no-gi. I don't have a rank. I'm a white belt. You're a white belt. You ain't ranked. You're a white belt. Oh, no. Guys, put the gi on, guys. You train no gi. You ain't got no belt. You can't tie no belt. You got an imaginary belt in a different system. Which is going to come into play, guys. I'm joking. But it does kind of affect some people we know. It's easy to see both sides. He sees it as more dynamic, fast-paced game, better suited for modern athletes and MMA crossover. Others, like Kit Dale, have taken it further, saying he'd be happy to see gi jiu-jitsu disappear entirely. Good old Kit Dale. Australians are crazy, so I don't really listen to Australians too much. The balanced view. It's easy to see both sides. No gi is faster, more explosive, and becoming more dominant in mainstream grappling. But gi training slows things down and forces you to develop a different level of control, grip, strategy, and problem solving under pressure. That's why so many world-class no-gi athletes, past and present, use the gi to build their foundation. The gi is sharper. You don't have to train in the gi forever, but doing so periodically can expose holes in your game, refine your technique, and give you a deeper understanding of the positions that translate to no-gi. Whether you're a white belt or aiming for ADCC gold, spending some time in the gi could be one of the smartest moves you make in your jiu-jitsu journey. So, I'm going to be honest. If you're a true martial artist, you should be doing both. You should be experimenting with a little bit of everything. You should know a little bit of striking, some kicking, some self-defense, some gi, some no-gi. But why limit yourself? Why limit yourself to one thing? I'm old school. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for over 20 years. So when I was coming up, you had to learn other stuff. So I just don't see why people are limiting themselves to only gi or only no gi. There's lots of different techniques that you guys can implement when you do the different. They're not different sports, but they might become different sports if you guys stop doing them together. So try to cross train. When I started, that was like the biggest thing, cross training. Now people don't even cross train anymore. They just do one thing and that's all they do. It's kind of boring. Now we got Mikey. Oh, Mikey pulls out of the Gio Martinez rematch amid rumors of USA Grappling Project. So he might be on some reality TV show. We did cover a story. I don't know if I did it yesterday or the other day. UFC promised some money to the Guardian. You know, the whatever foundation Craig was helping with, and I guess Flow Grappling. They promised some money, but they just did the photo shoot, and that was it. They never sent the check. So Mikey, be smart, bro. Mikey has officially pulled out of his highly anticipated rematch with Gio Martinez, but not due to injury or scheduling conflict. Instead, the reasons point to something potentially much bigger, a major UFC-backed project that could finally bring... Everybody's like, we're going to finally bring jiu-jitsu to the spotlight. How many organizations have said that? A major UFC-backed project that could finally bring professional jiu-jitsu into the spotlight in a way fans have been waiting for. No, we want to see the matches. We want to see the Mikey versus Gio. We want to see Mikey versus Pato. We want to see Mikey versus Baby Shark. We want to see Mikey versus, I don't know, whoever else is really good. Oh, I want to see him versus Cole. You know, some of those guys. Cole's a little bit bigger. But definitely Pato. Mikey shared the recent update stating that the rematch is off due to a huge project. The UFC, well, that's a scheduling conflict then. While details remain scarce, the news have reignited speculation about the UFC's long-rumored expansion into grappling. What do you mean? They already said they were going to put $12 million. I don't know if they're actually going to do that, though. You know, what they do is just say they're going to do this huge thing. They're going to put money in the sport, and then they get all the optics. They get the clout, but then they don't have to go through with it. It's very, very American marketing. You know, you say you're going to do all this stuff, don't do half of it, but people believe you anyway. This rematch would have marked just Musumeci's second appearance since signing an exclusive contract with the UFC nearly a year ago. I wish he would stop doing these exclusive contracts. I'm not sure how much they pay him, but I want to see Mikey competing with the best guys. I know it's not the most financially sound move, but I want to see Mikey competing with the best guys in the sport before he gets too old. A move that initially sent shockwaves through jiu-jitsu world as a possible signal of change in the sport's professional landscape. So if you guys didn't know, Mikey used to have an exclusive contract with one championship. Now he moved to UFC. I want to see Mikey doing ADCC. I want to see Mikey doing CJI. I don't care about these little super fights that nobody really wants to see. I want to see Mikey in tournaments, beating the best guys in the world, showing that what you can do when you have autism. I want to see what the highest level of autism is looking like. Yeah, he hasn't been fighting that many people. Mikey, get back in these other tournaments, bro. Early news hinted that the UFC was working behind the scenes on a dedicated grappling league. Can you imagine if Mikey's your coach? Man, you might just go over to the other team. You're like, I'm tired of Mikey. I don't know Mikey that well, but I'm just making a joke, guys. The dedicated grappling league, though the organization made no formal announcements, signs began to emerge. If anything, they're just gonna rip off PGF. Is UFC gonna rip off PGF? That's what it sounds like. Dana White made a passing reference to a potential grappling reality show. We don't want to see that. We tired of that. And not long after, Cade Rotullo casually revealed in an interview that Mikey would be coaching opposite Gordon Ryan. How much money are they giving these guys? They're giving Mikey and Gordon all the money. They're giving them $10 million. And you guys are going to get $1,000. As 2025 hits its halfway point, the promised $10 million investment in jiu-jitsu by the UFC still hasn't materialized in any public-facing way. So, I think the UFC it's smart. It's smart. I'm going to say I'm going to give you $10 million. I had the $10 million. I'm going to say I'm going to give you the $10 million. I'm going to use you guys to market whatever show we already got going on, but I'm not going to give you I'm not going to give you the $10 million, and I'm not going to do the show. But I'm going to say I'm going to do the show, and then you guys are going to forget about it next week. There's nobody to hold these companies accountable. They just say whatever they want to say. Well, he's on that exclusive contract, so what can he do about it? He saw the money. I don't know how good the money is. Maybe it was really good. Maybe it's $100,000. Maybe it's $150,000. Maybe it's $200,000. All right, Mikey, you're gonna be marketing. They basically got my man out there, working. They working him on the street, on the social media streets. Well, that's what he signed up for. He could actually be fighting. He could actually be fighting, but what is he doing now? He's basically the autistic version of Craig Jones over here for UFC, basically. So I mean, he signed up for that, and Mikey gonna leave it eventually. He gonna be 32. All right, I'm ready to compete at ADCC. All right, I'm 32, 33. I'm ready to do CGI 5, 4, whatever number they're on. Bro, you should be doing it now. You're 27, bro, 28 or whatever. You should be competing now. But what do I know? Fans have been left wondering whether the league was ever more than hype. I think it's just marketing, They got that Trump marketing. The tariffs. However, Mikey's withdrawal from an undisclosed UFC project might be the clearest sign yet that something larger is finally about to unfold. I don't know. We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. There's Mikey. He's that's the downside to working with the UFC. They can just bench whatever you were working on. They're not going to do the show. They're not going to have this fight. What are they doing? They're just kind of wasting Mikey's time. You got a little paycheck, but bro, at what cost? Mikey has the potential to make. Yeah, but they got the marketing. They got the clout. They don't care. I wish Mikey had done more due diligence than partnering up with all these shady companies. One championship. You got UFC. He could have been doing CJI. He could have done a super fight at CJI or done more stuff. It just kind of, I don't want to say it tarnishes his legacy, but it's kind of holding his legacy back. He could be beating some of the best guys in the sport. Like he did back when he was doing IBJJF. IBJJF, he was fighting all these guys. Now he can't fight nobody. And he's over here forced to market, these projects that aren't ever going to come out. So I don't know what else to say, man. That's pretty sad. So getting back to our thumbnail, you guys saw the thumbnail, hopefully, if you're on YouTube. It says Dean Lister talks IBJJF. They didn't even recognize me as a black belt. So yeah, you guys say I complain about IBJJF too much. I feel like I complain about everybody. ADCC, IBJJF, CJI. I complain about everything. ADCC champion and BJJ legend Dean Lister recently shared details about his rocky relationship with one of Jiu-Jitsu's most prominent governing bodies, the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation, otherwise known as the IBJJF. Known for his role in the leg lock revolution and his ADCC Hall of Fame credentials, Lister didn't hold back as he criticized IBJJF's approach to evolving techniques within the sport. It's a pretty effective defense just to make something illegal. What's illegal? Well, in no-gi, almost everything is legal. I think we can reap and heel hook and toe hold and knee bar. However, but before, a lot of that stuff was illegal. However, the real surprise came when Lister revealed that the IBJJF once failed to recognize him as a black belt, despite his decades of high-level experience and accolades. Well, he was competing. He was competing in the 90s, in 2000s. I don't even know. There was no IBJJF. There was no website. How did they register back then? Oh, there was definitely a website. I don't know how they registered. I think, there used to be a website. I didn't start doing IBJF till 2006 or 7. Yeah, 7. There must have been a website. I forget. And then you would pay. But then the bracket, there was no way to see the brackets. We didn't have a digital bracket, so we had to go to the tournament, and then you had a paper bracket they would put on the wall, like this huge paper bracket. And that's just how you did it. But he's even before then. He says, there was a time where they didn't even recognize me as a black belt. So I forget who he got his black belt from. I did a whole Dean Lister video. He got it from a Brazilian instructor, though. I can't remember the guy's name. But it was a student of the Gracies that moved down pretty early. After UFC, the first UFC, I believe. Lister, there was a time where they didn't even recognize me as a black belt. I'm like, what? Political decision is what I'm saying. Lister has long been a staple in elite grappling circles, and his resume includes ADCC titles and an induction into the ADCC Hall of Fame. It's just funny because I'm in the Hall of Fame for Abu Dhabi. Well, that's a different organization. Despite the friction, Lister seems not to care about it anymore. His final take was less about outrage and more about acceptance. At some point, I stopped caring. So theoretically, he should be able to register. Maybe you got to go through some steps, but I mean, obviously they know who Dean Lister is, and his coach has been around for a long time. So I don't understand why they can't recognize him. And even Dean Lister, he has a Sambo background, which has half the gi. All your favorite MMA fighters from Dagestan probably have a judo or a Sambo background. That's half gi, guys, half gi. You got Fedor, all those guys, all them Russian guys. They know something with the gi on.
Opinion about IBJJF is it's a pretty effective defense just to make something illegal.
Oh, we don't know.
It's a pretty effective. Like, hey, that's just illegal. We don't. Sorry.
We don't know any sense.
Just my opinion. We have offended. Like there was a time where they didn't even recognize me as a black belt. I'm like, what? It's political, as I'm saying. What? It's just funny because I'm in the Hall of Fame for Abu Dhabi. Like, of course I'm a black belt. I just at some point like I stopped caring.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know what's illegal. At black belt, most of this stuff's not illegal, but in probably blue belt or something might be illegal, or white belt. What you could argue for, I will say, IBJJF over the last couple years has been more open. They started allowing the heel hooks and other leg attacks more so. So they've been allowing more stuff. So it's like you got two ends of the spectrum. You got the IBJJF that had more stuff that was illegal, and then you had more like the ADCC where more stuff was legal. But look at ADCC. What's happening with ADCC, guys? Can't slam, can't Kani Basami, can't do this, can't do that. They're adding more and more rules as they become more popular. They're looking to become more palatable. You got kids competing. I'm gonna be honest, bro. They need to make sure people wear uniforms. ADCC, you guys got to make sure people got to wear a shirt. They got the kids out there shirtless, the dudes out there shirtless. I'm like, what's going on out here? Yeah, I think if they want to be successful, you need more rules and regulations. You want the people to be safer. Some of these rules, Dean Lister competed back in the 90s, late 90s, 2000s. They didn't have no rules, but they were okay with that. But now you got ladies competing, you got kids competing, you got old dudes competing. They didn't have no old dudes competing back in the day. So I think you're going to see more rules and regulations at ADCC Opens, while IBJF starts to loosen up some of the rules and their regulations. So it's just a different view. This wouldn't be an Alec video without some drama. So we already covered the Kyle Snyder stuff, blah blah blah. But there was another Penn wrestler got in trouble recently. Penn State wrestler Braden Davis faces series of charges after fraternity house incident. So I think Braden, I believe I don't know if. Yeah, so I don't understand why they can't recognize his black belt. I think he just got to go on the website and sign himself up. And why does he care? Is he ever going to compete in the IBJF or in the gi? Probably not. He probably doesn't even have students that train in the gi anymore. I could be wrong. He should be recognized. I don't think he really competed in IBJJF though. Did he? So you want to be recognized in a organization that you didn't compete in or really participate in? It would be nice to be recognized in all these organizations, but listen, you in the ADCC Hall of Fame, man. That's good enough, man. Some of us, I'm not going to get in any Hall of Fame. I'm not going to be ADCC Hall of Fame, IBJJF Hall of Fame. And look, I'm okay with that. I'm still fighting. I'm still competing, but, it's just is what it is. Maybe I'll make the YouTube Hall of Fame. No, maybe not. Penn State All-American wrestler Braden Davis, I believe he did win a NCAA title his freshman year, has been charged with 3 misdemeanors and 2 summary offenses after a March 29th early morning incident at Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity house in State College. Davis, 20, is facing charges of resisting arrest. Ooh, that's pretty bad. Evading arrest or detention on foot, criminal trespass. Yeah. Evading arrest or detention on foot, criminal trespass, consumption of alcoholic beverages, and public drunkenness, according to State College Police and first reported by onwardstate.com. Police stated that Davis and an unarmed friend twice have been asked by fraternities to leave the premises and were arguing with security employees. When police arrived, police said they could smell alcohol on Davis's breath. We can't see the rest. Thanks. There's more to the article, but all these paid things, bro. Let's see if we can find something. Bray. It's messed up when they got which Penn State athlete are you looking for? Dang it, come on. Braden. That's kind of a crazy way to spell his name. Danny says, man, the Penn State wrestlers are on demon time. Yeah, my friend, he said, Kel Sanderson is like a monk. But a lot of those guys can't live like that, They just couldn't live like that, so that's why. Can we look at State College? You guys got the article? All right, they got the article up here. An officer dispatched on the scene. Sorry, guys. The scene arrived to see Davis, an All-American for the Nittany Lion wrestling team this past season, and the other man arguing with security guards, police wrote. While speaking with Davis and the other man, the officer observed that both smelled of alcohol and had bloodshot and glassy eyes, according to an affidavit. After being told he was not free to leave until he was identified, Davis allegedly attempted to use the other man to block the officer and then began to run when the officer grabbed his jacket to prevent him from fleeing. The officer caught up with Davis and took him to the ground, but Davis attempted to wrestle him free. How did that officer take him down? Oh, it's Pennsylvania. That's in Pennsylvania, guys, so the officer probably wrestled too. I'm surprised he didn't recognize Davis then. So he's wrestling. Oh no, that's pretty bad, guys. You guys gonna defend him? You guys love to defend these guys when they get in trouble. I don't defend nobody but myself. The officer caught up with Davis and took him to the ground, but Davis attempted to wrestle free and get up into a kneeling position, according to the affidavit. Davis continued to try to break free as the officer tightened his grip on him and eventually agreed to stop resisting after 2 more officers arrived, police wrote. Why couldn't he get you guys know he's like 125 or 115 or something? Yo, Hickson. What if they were like Hickson, you know what though? I'll be honest. When you do these tournaments, Pans or Worlds or whatever, they say bring your black belt card. I think now they got it on your phone now. But they're like, bring your black belt card. And then because the people working security, they don't know who you are, bro. They don't know who Hickson Gracie or anybody is, really. Let me see if I can pull up my card. So I got my card. So it's got to say, your information and stuff. Is mine up to date? Yo, my card not up to date. I got to re-up it though. But you got to show that. Otherwise, they won't recognize you. Is that what Dean Lister was saying? Nobody recognized him? Dang. So I'll be honest, the people working security at the venues, they don't train. They don't know who you are. And it's Brazilian people. You think Brazilian people that just started jiu-jitsu probably 5 years ago or something, 4 years ago, you think they understand they know who Dean Lister is? Even the people that work at Flow Grappling, some of those guys they started training like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. They don't know who Dean Lister, people don't remember who you are. They don't know who Marcelo Garcia is. They don't know who Rafa Mendez is. Man, look, I know who Dean Lister is, but I'm old. You think some kids don't even know who any of these people are. Kids don't know who Marcelo is. They don't know who Rafa Mendez is. They don't know who Cobrinha is. People join the sport every year. Every year there's new people joining the sport. They don't know anybody. They know Gordon Ryan. They know Craig Jones. They might know Danaher. Spam. I'm getting a lot of spam over here. Twitch, stop spamming me, Twitch. So yeah, they don't know who anyone is. Man, listen, that's a marketing issue. That's not oh, they don't recognize me. The people at the tournament, they don't know. They just started jiu-jitsu. They don't know. Or they just volunteered. You think the people that volunteer and work the table and the bullpen, they don't know anybody, bro. So, these guys, they used to be jiu-jitsu famous. Used to be 10, 20 years ago. Man, people don't know anybody, bro. They know Gordon Ryan. They know Craig Jones because they see those guys all the time. They don't know the old people. They don't know Hickson. They don't know the Gracies. They don't know anybody, okay? So whenever they're saying this stuff, regular people don't know anybody. Look, this officer at Penn State, he didn't even recognize Braden Davis. Braden Davis, one of the most popular wrestlers at Penn State. They didn't know who he was. They tackled him down. They took him down two. They took him down, and he couldn't wrestle. He couldn't even wrestle. He couldn't even get away from the one officer. He couldn't use his wrestling to get away from one officer, bro. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been wrestling the officer anyway. Bro, people memories go fast. That's why, think about social media. You got to constantly be making content. Anybody you follow on Instagram or YouTube, they constantly making content. They don't just, well, I'm done. I don't have to make I don't have to make any more content. I don't have to make any more artwork. I don't have to make any more videos. I don't have to make any more music. No, I don't have to make any more movies. You got to keep doing that stuff. You got to keep writing books. Whatever you do, you got to keep doing it. You know, yeah, just how it is, man. You're right, Quan. I know some of these guys, but the people don't know these people. What was I saying? I went on my tangent, bro. I must be getting old. Yeah, he should. I was about to say, if I was wrestling the officer, I probably would have gotten tased or shot. I run away from the officer. That's it. Get him. Pew, 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 pew. Get him. Yo, they would have had the.
Rickson's organization is not associated with IBJJF, so when you go to their tournament, you can't just walk in and coach.
There we go. Yeah. Listen, yeah. That's just how it is, man. They don't even recognize your black belt at the Hickson organization. They're like, you ain't in our system, bro. You ain't ever been in the system. You ain't got no credentials. You ain't got no ID that says you're a black belt. I carry my ID. I just showed you guys my ID on the phone. I gotta show. They don't be like, oh, Alec, I'm a huge fan of yours. No, they say, hey, where's your ID at, sir? Who are you? You got some ID, some verification? It says, during the struggle, Davis allegedly broke the officer's wristwatch and radio earpiece and tore his body-worn camera from its mount. Davis was taken to Mount Nittany Medical Center for an alcohol overdose. Oh, dang. Jesus Christ. And a blood test showed he had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.225, according to the affidavit. 0.08 is when you're inebriated, I believe. Legally inebriated, so he was over that. He was charged via summons on Monday with misdemeanor counts of resisting arrest, evading arrest, and defiant trespass and summary offenses of public drunkenness and underage drinking. Penn State Athletics is aware of the charges, according to a statement provided by a department spokesman. These alleged actions do not reflect the values and standards of our program and will be addressed. The spokesperson wrote, "We will not comment any further as this is an ongoing legal matter." Davis, a sophomore, finished 5th in the nation at 133 pounds at the NCAA championships and was 4th at the Big Ten championships. I thought he didn't win last year. Oh, he won the Big Ten. That's what he won. He won the Big Ten championships at 125 as a freshman in 2024. Preliminary hearing is scheduled today, May 21st. So you're going to get a slap on the wrist, community service, etc., etc. If that was me, bro, I would have been in jail. I would have been, they would have had that mugshot. Name would have been plastered all over the place. But it's okay. It's Braden Davis. He's okay. So the main story of today, we got Marcelo Garcia. He's cancer-free. Shout out to Marcelo. You guys love Marcelo. You know, one of the most popular guys in jiu-jitsu. But even him, people don't know who Marcelo is. You know, there's probably some blue belts and purple belts that don't know who Marcelo Garcia is. And that's just life, man. People are going to forget about you. Kind of reminds me of the Brad Pitt movie, Troy, where he plays Achilles, where he's like, you could stay here and, you know, your family's going to remember you for a couple generations, or you go to Troy and you're not going to come back, but they're going to remember you for the rest of history, basically. And sometimes it'd be like that, you know. Let's see what Marcelo got to say.
Hi guys, I'm just stopped by to let everybody know.
Oh, can I make it bigger?
Hi guys, I'm just stopped by to let everybody know that I did my 2 years exam here in New York. I came out of the best result, so I can't complain. I'm 2 years cancer free. Thank you so much for all the support, all the message, guys. I feel like I need to share with you guys because I know everybody was asking about, so I really appreciate it. I'm heading right now to my class, 7 p.m. here in New York City. I hope I can make it to the class and get a good train. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, so awesome, man. Happy to hear that.
Hi guys, I'm just stopped by to let everybody.
Happy to hear that about Marcelo. You guys saw the thumbnail, so We're just celebrating Marcelo. It's hard to believe that these guys are human too. You see guys like Mika. That's wild, huh? He could. Well, I mean, you kind of need to know. Actually, that's more on him though. I mean, do you really expect J Rod and Nicky Rod to know everything? They come from a wrestling background. But that's why I kind of urge you guys to learn about wrestling and learn about judo. Who are some of the major figureheads of the sport? Who are some of the, at least in America, you should know, like, that would be like me saying, oh, I don't know who J Flow is. I don't know who Pedro, what's the guy? Jamie Pedro. I don't know who Jamie Pedro is. I don't know who Ronda Rousey is. I don't know who Kayla Harrison is. I don't know who Travis Steven is. Wouldn't that be, or even Colton Brown, which your average jiu-jitsu person probably wouldn't know. But if you're in the sport, those guys are kind of, they're in a related sphere. We're not like completely unrelated. There's a lot of crossover, especially with Travis Stevens. He did a lot of crossing over. He competed a lot until USA Judo said he couldn't. Same thing in wrestling. Like, we're covering the Braden Smith Davis story. We're covering the Kyle Snyder, covering a little bit of the World Team Trials, maybe Final X. So I think it's really important to educate yourself on, what's going on in the sport, who's kind of related to the sport, who are the up and coming people. We watched Jansen Gomez, we saw Cole, we saw Big Breakfast. These are some of the up and coming guys. Like, who's up and coming in your sport? You listen to people that follow football or the NBA. They know who the rookies are. They know who the old school guys are. They know who the legends are. The same. You should know that for your sport too, guys. Yeah, J Rod. Man, J Rod, bro. You guys like J Rod, so I can't say too much. Says Marcelo Garcia's own cells can't defeat him. Yep, the GOAT. So happy Marcelo is cancer free. Minor plug for his merch store. Yeah, if you guys want to get some merch, I'm gonna always push you guys to get some inverted gear. They got some sales going on for Memorial Day. Be sure to put in for code Alec. You guys know. We gotta get more. We gotta get more plushy Pokemon for me, guys. We need the Squirtle. We need the we need all the other stuff. We need the Charizard or Charmander. What's the first one? Charmander, I think the first fire Pokemon. Yeah, we need all the Pokemon, guys. Come on. We should make it a point to support the good people and good things in our sport. It's so easy to follow the bad people and the bad things in the sport. I'm not helping too much, but I try to explain what's going on. Try to do some research on what's happening. So I don't just report on the bad news. I kind of like, oh, what's going on? Let's read some comments. Let's see what's really happening. I try to give you a different kind of viewpoint. Says cancer had no chance of beating the GOAT. Amazing news. And he taught a class too. Technique video coming soon. My man defeating cancer and teaching jiu-jitsu. Bro, so good, he tapped out cancer. Yep. He tapped out cancer. Bro, butterfly swept cancer. Yep. Marcelo has such a great attitude. He's truly one of the people I've seen in my life that gives me a goal to be more of a good person. When's the last jiu-jitsu personality or celebrity that made you want to become a good person? Does Craig Jones want to make you become a good person? Well, he does some good stuff, but he does some crazy stuff. Gordon Ryan, no need to explain that. No, most of the celebrities in jiu-jitsu are you almost don't want to meet these guys. Like, of course I want to watch them compete. I want to see J Rod compete, but I don't actually want to meet these guys, to be honest. I'm good on these guys, bro. I'm good. Love watching his highlight compilations. His north-south choke was automatic, and it worked easily on even the biggest trained dudes. Best of all time. Let's go. Knicks in conference finals. The GOAT is cancer-free. Coincidence? I think not. Before cancer even knew what was up, its guard was passed, back was taken, and it was choked out. Marcelo is the man. Great news, GOAT. So happy for him. Heck yeah. Congratulations. You look great also. What a legend. So happy for him. Swept cancer from X-Guard, and let's hope it's not smart enough to go near him again. Congrats, MG. Heck yeah. Good news today. He RNC'd the cancer. F cancer. He will beat the stuffing out of the new blue belt in this class. Yeah, he about to beat up some blue belts. Nicest guy in the world gets cancer. Life can be cruel. Glad he's still going strong. Well, cancer doesn't care if you're nice or evil or anything. Cancer had no chance against the GOAT. I'm a simple girl. I see a Marcelo post. I like it. That's awesome. GOAT. Beautiful. This is probably the best post on Reddit I've ever seen or read. It must suck to be a BJJ gym owner in Kauai. Kualua. I can't say the Hawaii names. Your only hope was cancer taking out the living legend next door, and now that's gone. This is amazing news. Anyways, I'm old now. I feel like it was just announced that he has cancer like 6 months ago. He is such a pure soul. I'm so happy for him. I gotta assume Craig has hit up Marcelo about working with him in regards to the Tap Cancer Out Foundation and CGI too. If not, that would be a huge missed opportunity. Pada Benz. I've been cancer free for 33 33 years. Wow. You should probably go in for your first screening. You're about that age. Marcelo had stomach cancer. There is no screening. We aren't talking about prostate. Stomach cancer is the real deal, and 5-year survival, not great. Wow. I didn't know that. I don't know anything about stomach cancer. Hope Marcelo stays this way. So far, so good, though, for the GOAT. Stomach cancer, I wish only the best for Marcelo. Just trying to frame the challenges he faced. 5-year survival of stomach cancer for people in his demographic is 30 to 50%. Hopefully, this exam reveals him to be on the happy side of that distribution. So yeah, keep Marcelo in your prayers, guys. Let's watch some videos. I might cover this stuff later. I'm tired of talking. I can always push this stuff till tomorrow too. My voice is kind of gone. We saw that.
All right, we're here with Professor Leo.
So now we got Leo Vieta. Man, he's looking a little chunky, bro. What happened, man? Why do my jiu-jitsu superstars get fat? Oh, we got Jansen Gomez over there too. We might listen to Jansen Gomez. Got Buchecha. Let's see what these guys got to say, because I'm really interested to see. Yeah, Lucas. The cool thing of training at Alliance back then, we could meet these guys, They would do seminars and sometimes camps. Guys like Lucas Lepre, Michael Lange, Leo Noguera. I don't know if Bernardo was there. Was Bernardo there? Bruno Malfacine. There was a one point where Alliance would win like all the Black Belt divisions, basically. So I got a chance to meet a lot of these guys. I haven't had a chance to meet Leo Vieta yet, but no shortage of people, bro. No shortage of people. You just gotta remember these all people. They might be great at jiu-jitsu, but they're just people just like you and me. Yeah, I think most people coming up when I came up, looked at Marcelo, Jacare, and Hodger. That was kind of like the holy trinity right there of jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I don't really look up to nobody now. Too old for that, but nah, man, he might win that thing, bro. He might beat Mika and everybody else at like 40 years old. He could still cancer can't beat Marcelo. I don't think nobody else can beat Marcelo either. In Nogi? Yo, Nogi? Let's see what Leo Vieta's got to say. They just opened up a school recently. Maybe we can find it out. It's Jackson. Like Rampage Jackson, he's got the podcast and the necklace. They just opened up a new school. Looks pretty cool. Can we find that school? It looks really awesome. So let's see what he's got to say first, and then maybe we'll listen to some of these other guys.
We got the World Championships coming up in a couple weeks. You guys are doing some training right now. Why don't you just talk about how the World's preparation's been going so far?
Yeah, the worst preparation I think like takes the whole year, right? So it never act like we never stop, but definitely like it's last month, like the last 4 8 weeks. That's when it be more consistently because after like we hadn't the headquarters get people from every place in the world. So after some people after the European Championship, they come to US. Some people after the Brasileiro, the national in Brazil, they come to US. So like so the camp it starts like a long time ago, 8 weeks, but right now, like the last 2 weeks after the nationals in Brazil, and for the next two, that's when the intensity will be very strong.
So you do have a lot of lower belts who are incredibly talented, who are here right now, about to compete at the Worlds, and a lot of them are part of a social project, and you also have another project that you work with some color belts in. So could you take some time to explain those projects and kind of the goal of what you're trying to do with them?
Yeah, it's like size like start like with the athletes, and I was one of these kids. I was one of these kids back in the time that I have no money to train in jiu-jitsu, and like. My professor, Romero, was the one that gave me the opportunity to be training, right? So that's just the way that I also like I can give back. Also grew up in my family. I always learned from my father and my mother to how to help others. My father and my mother was the oldest from their family. So my mom family with 20 kids, 20 brothers and sisters. My father 11 brothers and sisters. Bro, I have so much cousins. So it's crazy. But it's and the funny thing, like so our family was one of those like helper inside the family. So I grew up watching always my parents support no matter what their families. So because of that, so I always have this inner voice to support and help people. I know when I help people, I just know what to do in my life. When I decide to jiu-jitsu, okay, so be jiu-jitsu and help people. And that's the way that I use. So Checkmat today became this network that we use our resource with affiliations and uniforms and all the profit that we can have with license and with jiu-jitsu. So we invest in young athletes. So we give opportunities to everybody, even for those that by performance.
Jason, yeah, they were crazy, bro. We just fought, bro. The thing is, everybody's rolling, so you had to. I mean, if you're rolling with someone, you say you're rolling with Cobrinha, all right, you fighting for your life. So you had to find a partner. Yo, bro, you'd be like, hey, man. Yo, because you see the pairs, we didn't pair ourselves up at Alliance. The coaches would pair you. So you couldn't even control who you train with. So you had to hope you could get a good partner. Hey, bro, let's watch this roll. Let's watch Cobrinha and Marcelo go. Let's watch Langy and Lucas go, okay? You got it? All right. So you had to, you couldn't just stop rolling. So you had to, you're rolling and you both start looking over. So we saw some good matches, man. Did a lot of cool positional training. We just scrapped, bro. I mean, the American crew was good too. Everybody was good. We had guys like Chris Moriarty, Ian McPherson, John Thomas, Pedro. A lot of good people, bro. You just had to fight, bro. It's kind of like how Atos and AOJ are now. It's just back then we had all the best black belts. A lot of up and coming dudes. So I think we had one of the best schools in that time period. And yeah, man, you just roll, bro. You just roll, bro. You just put the whooping on people, bro. You take your whippings and you put the whipping on other people. And we would do these huge camps, so you would hope, regular people will come to the camp. They like, how people do the World's Camp at AOJ. We couldn't wait for that to happen. All right, we about to tear these people up. Because people weren't used to training. Now people train full time, 2-3 times easy. But people weren't used to that back in the day. So, bro, we would just tear people up, bro. God, dog. Because they would be dead. They'd do a couple rounds. And we would just do 10-minute rounds. We would do 6 to 8 or maybe 10-minute rounds some days. Bro, we would tear people up, bro. Because we lived that life every day. and then regular people come through. Sorry, bro. I gotta rebuild my confidence, bro. And you know what? I spent a lot of time rolling with Cobrinha. I spent a lot of time rolling with Lucas, especially for ADCC, bro. I rolled Lucas so much, I was like, dang, my confidence wasn't too good. I was like, oh man, this is not good. Because every day rolling with Lucas, you think would be amazing, but eventually you're like, bro, I can't do anything. I'm trying every day fighting to get something. So that was kind of rough.
Imagine a random walking in off the street for a world's camp. How many came back the next day? Man, I can't imagine that in a bigger school. Just at one of the first gyms I was at, the comp class was insane. I can't imagine going against Lepre exhausted. Was it just black belts?
Well, you guys both posted. Yeah, I mean, people had to pay for that camp, so nobody's walking in. Yeah, I mean, you would have some people come, from all around the world, basically. But yeah, they will get they butt kicked, bro. And I was all for it. I was like, I'm gonna take out all my frustration on you, bro. Sorry, the hammer and nail analogy. And we would get a lot of people from Brazil, so that also helped build our confidence. You fight other blue and purple and brown belts from Brazil, so you're like, all right, I feel good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good in training. I'm gonna go out there to the tournament and tear it up too, bro. So I can't imagine that in a bigger school. Just at one of the first gyms I was at, the comp class was insane. I mean, I would train with Lucas. I'm saying like all the time. Like I'm saying multiple rolls in one day. You like, all right, I roll with Lucas 5, 6, 10 times that day. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that was one day. You're like, all right, bro, can I roll somebody else? Can somebody who else is over here? Yeah, it's kind of demoralizing. 2019, the same Lucas that shut down Lackland. That's the Lucas I was fighting. So I was like, God dog, I can't get anything. Just can't sweep him, can't pass on him, can't submit him. You're like, God dang it, bro. And you got, he's trying to pass your guard every day. You're like, all right, bro, you're fighting for your life. So it was rough. It definitely makes you tougher. So if you guys want to get good, you need to make sure that there's some people that you need a even distribution of people that can beat you up, people that you're even with, to people that you can beat up. Because if you're one's him doing whatever he does normally can beat most people, guys. Yeah, just him doing what he does normally can beat you. Him not trying his normal jiu-jitsu beats most people's jiu-jitsu. And then he's got attributes, he's got really good internal hip rotation, he's got really good balance, and just well-rounded. You guys know there's been I think 1 or 2 world championships where nobody scored a point on him at Worlds. Can you imagine that? Even Tynan and all these guys, they can't. Mika, those guys, they don't have tournaments like that where nobody scored on them. I'm talking 4 tough matches where nobody scored anything, like no advantages, no points, nothing. No one got nothing. That's what it feels like when you roll with Lucas. Like I got nothing. I got nothing at all. And God forbid you get caught in a knee cut or something, or half guard. What do you think you're gonna do? He's got the he's got the power up in half guard, guys. You pull half guard on Lucas Lepre, what do you think you're gonna do in half guard? You pull single leg X on or X guard on Lucas Lepre, what do you think you're gonna do? Nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. So it can be frustrating. You're gonna learn a lot. I learned more watching Lucas beat up other people than for me rolling with Lucas, because you don't understand what's happening to you in the midst of it happening. But when you can watch someone else get massacred, you're like, oh, that's what he's been doing. All right, man, I got you, man. Yeah, so it's very humbling, very humbling. I'm very blessed to have the experiences I've had. I don't think there will ever be another alliance team like that where you had like Bruno Malfacine, you had Cobrinha, you had Michael Langhi, you had Lucas, you had Sergio Moraes, Marcelo, you had Bernardo. I'm gonna throw Chris Moriarty in there. You had a lot of other dudes too, but they would just roll in. You had Luana. You had all these alliance people. I remember because the team would win the world championships, and they put all the black belt world champions there, and it was all alliance people, Even Leo Vieta. Who did Leo Vieta get his black belt from, guys? Can we do the research real fast? Who did Leo Vieta get his black belt from, guys? Romero Cavalcanti. Who else got their black belt from Romero, guys? So we call him Jacare. I don't know if they got all his black belts up here. Probably not. Yo, I'm going to pull myself up. My internet going slow. Who else got their black belt from Romero Cavalcanti? Me. So there's a ton of people, Jock Ray's been training, I don't know, 60 something years, 50, 60 years. So he's had a lot of black belts. So I'm very, very blessed to be, we don't talk about lineage anymore, but having that lineage, Holds Gracie right there, basically one step away. So that was pretty awesome to see and have. So you got teams like Checkmat, Ted team, TT team, Tella's team. I mean, you got a lot of guys. You got the guys from Sao Paulo, just from one team basically. I'm getting a little tired, guys. So we got one more video. Anything else? I'll just. Yeah, but he does all those little steps in a couple minutes and then past the guard. He's past your guard. So he's making all those little adjustments just to pass your guard. So imagine he's fighting you. Imagine you're the person on bottom. He's doing all those little adjustments and just slowly beating your guard down. So we got one more video. It says jiu-jitsu trainer took Tom Brady's wife. You guys already know this. Valente Bros. If you're in Miami, man, don't send your wife to the Valente Bros, okay? Be smart, guys.
Cheating on their husbands with jiu-jitsu instructors. There has been an epidemic of women cheating on their husbands with jiu-jitsu instructors. So what Brad is talking about, legitimately, look it up if you want. Yeah, so what happens
Watch out for these jiu-jitsu instructors.
You come in, you're a man and a woman, you're a couple. You go into the jiu-jitsu school, and your wife watches you be completely infantilized and emasculated
you roll
by
with Lucas Lepre.
Big
your wife,
buff
don't
Brazilian
let your
guy
wife
who
watch
ties you in knots
roll
and then makes
Lucas
you tap
Lepre,
out
okay?
several times. And then she...
I rewind that. But yeah, don't let your wife watch you roll Lucas Lepre or Rafa Mendez or Marcelo Garcia. But baby, he's amazing. I know. They might still. They're not gonna steal your wife. Yo, I'm telling you guys, watch out, bro. Yeah, don't send her to a jiu-jitsu school by herself, and don't send her to Miami.
Completely infantilized.
Well, they'll take your wife right in front of you. That's what he's saying.
Emasculated by some, big buff Brazilian guy who ties you in knots and then makes you tap out several times. And then she subsequently gets in there with him while, goes to class. Oh, honey, I'm going to class without you this week. And she's now on the ground grunting with this good-looking, in-shape Brazilian man who just put her husband in a rear naked choke. I just don't think people understand what that does evolutionarily. And if you don't believe me, look it up. Look, there is literally, obviously it happened to Tom Brady. That's exactly what happened. His wife left him or cheated on him with a Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor, but there's actually been several other professional athletes where this has happened as well.
Dang.
And it goes to show, again, if your husband works at a strip club or if your wife is surrounded by good-looking guys all the time, is the proclivity to cheat higher? The answer is yes, and it's obvious that the answer is yes. So no, I don't think Brad or Garrett are insecure for saying what they're saying.
That's so crazy to me, thinking about that jujitsu. I had never thought of it like that. I had just thought of it as like, oh, well, you know, you go to jujitsu as a woman and there's a big, strong man and like, ooh, and it's touchy-feely and it gets a little for you. But I had never thought about the angle of if you see your husband go in and he's like, you know, in a headlock or whatever it is, and he's just unable to do his duty as a man, and you all of a sudden start thinking, oh man, if we have a robber in our house, I need to get that guy over there to protect me.
But Jedediah, you don't think
that guy in your mind.
You aren't even thinking
it's right.
It's totally subconscious.
Right.
You're just watching your man be emasculated in front of you.
Be beaten up, essentially.
Yes.
Get the shit beat out of
so
him by some big, strong guy.
Yeah. If my wife and I were going to go to
and then you're
jiu-jitsu.
like, oh, you're like, let me go in and see what that's all about. And then, you know.
Yo, if your wife leave you because you got your butt kicked in jiu-jitsu, I mean, that wasn't going to last anyway. Let me go to Instagram real fast. This reminds me of another post. Can we find this post? Don't ask me how I know all these girls' names, guys. Don't ask me. I'm tapped in, guys. I'm tapped in. Let me see if I can find it real fast. Yeah, I mean, you can bring your girl to jiu-jitsu, but, you know. I mean, most schools are professional now, bro. Most schools don't operate like this, you know. They're not operating like that no more. Let's see if I can. Yeah, most schools aren't most schools gonna be professional. They're not gonna try to ruin your marriage. That's bad for business. Now, back in the day, they would do some stuff like that. Again, guys, get that safe sport training. Make sure your coaches do the safe sport training too. Okay.
Who couldn't physically protect me, especially with me being so physical, so active. I can protect myself. Even though, okay, I could protect myself up to a certain point. If you can't provide that, I don't even see myself being attracted to you. I don't think I could respect somebody who couldn't physically protect me, especially with me being so physical, so active. I can protect myself. Even though, okay, I could protect myself up to a certain point. If you can't provide that, I don't even see myself being attracted to you. I don't think I could respect somebody who could.
Danny says, this is why I stay trying to watch around people's spouses in the gym. Too much drama comes from out of that. Yeah, I mean, just keep it appropriate. Yeah, you should be able to train with everybody, hopefully. Ideally, I want you guys to be able to train with everybody. Just be appropriate, you know. Be appropriate. Take the safe sport training. So we got one of the jiu-jitsu athletes. She says that she wants her dude to be able to protect her. So that is natural. You know, these ladies want you to protect them. So, you know, make sure you're training. Just make sure you do your due diligence. Don't go to the Valente Bros with your wife. Easy. Don't send your wife alone to the Valente Bros. Yeah, man. Shoot. All right, guys, I'm getting a little tired, so I might. Was there anything else in the news? We got some other stories we'll cover tomorrow, probably. I got some stuff to do. Got to make some food. Got to hang out with Pikachu. I'm working on another video for BJJ Mental Models. Should be coming out this month, God willing. I am behind. Shout out to Stephen Kwan. Not Rich Homie Kwan. We got another Kwan with the K. KWAN. So be on the lookout for that video. Hopefully I can knock that out eventually. Ooh, I'm not. Yeah, but man, that's like the old school way. If someone brings their girl in, I try to make them look good. You know, I'm gonna move around a little bit. I don't really try to crush people, really, to be honest. Maybe I should try to do that more often, but usually I'm just working on my technique. I'm actually focused on the technique, guys. I'm actually focusing. Can you guys imagine that? At jiu-jitsu class, I'm focusing on the technique. You guys over there watching a girl. I never used to do that stuff, but something I noticed is that a lot of you guys when you guys are rolling, you're looking at your coach for confirmation. I noticed that. I think that's something I used to do a long time ago, but when I'm rolling, here's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about my technique. I'm moving around. I'm thinking about the group of people that are about to hit me. I got to move and turn my partner away. I'm thinking about my space. How much space do I have? Where's the wall at? I'm focused, guys. I ain't focused on no girls or no dudes. I ain't focused on what they're doing over there. I'm focused on the training, man. That's how you get good, guys. Focus on the training. And if someone brings their girl, I'm gonna, I start to flow more. I might get swept. I might let myself get swept a little bit. Oh man, you got Alec a little bit. That's okay. Try to build people up, man. I think it's easy to think about breaking people down. You trying to dominate. I gotta be the alpha. But think about, your Jiu-Jitsu Academy is a community. I'm gonna try to make people look good. When people roll with me, it should be an experience. It's not just I'm just beating you. I'll move around a little bit. I'll see what they got to show, see what techniques they got. I'm not trying to crush everybody. You think that would be good for business if I'm rolling hard with everybody? I break people's legs. I'm choking the snot out of people. You think that's good for my business? No. When people roll with me, it's an experience. Oh man, I had a good time. They're not gonna get injured. They're not gonna get hurt. I'm gonna let them work a little bit. I'm not gonna crush them from side control. Yeah, if you got questions, ask. But also the coach got to be approachable. If you got a scary coach, you're probably too afraid to ask a question. So on your part as a coach, you got to be approachable. You want to be someone that people want to roll with, someone that people can ask questions from. There's a lot that goes into coaching, man. It's not just about being good. He only trained no-gi. He only trained no-gi. That's why he's a white belt. He ain't ranked. We don't recognize his rank. You got to start over, bro. Come on, man. Start working your technique, bro. He got to work his technique. All right, guys, that's basically it. So I'm here in Jersey, so we got a lot going on. Jersey Open, Final X, yada yada. You might see me at Panda, I'm about to say Panda Express, Panda Nation. Shout out to Nelson and Hillary. Some other stuff. Infinity, you might see me at Infinity and some other schools. So yeah. Yeah, I'm a dip, guys. Anything I didn't cover today, I cover tomorrow. And, there's always some drama. This channel is very easy. It's just drama. I try to give some different viewpoints, a little bit of some advice, That's it, man. I'm a dip, guys. I'm gonna see you guys probably Thursday. Danny Choppa, thanks, bro. If you guys like the channel, share it with your friends. If they want a morning channel, this somehow turned into a morning channel. We got Pikachu on the morning channel, so he's gonna be here with me while I'm here in Jersey. And let's get some more Pokemon out here, man. We gotta raise some funds for the Pokemon. All right, guys, I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna play my inverted gear. Again, they got a Memorial Day sale coming up. You guys want to get some gear? I don't know exactly what they got on there. They got the bags, they got the no-gi, they got the gis, they got the hats. I don't know if they have a hat. They got a lot of gear coming out, so check them out if you want to support the channel. As always, like the video, man. Share it with your friend. Tell them to jump in. That's basically it, man. All right, guys, I'm out. See you guys. Stay out of trouble. I got to say that to myself, too. Stay out of trouble, Alec. All right, guys. Peace.
Crazy Nelson here to tell you about InvertedGear.com holiday sale.
Get out of there, Nelson.
Crazy sale ever. Taking 25% off your entire order. We got white keys. We got black keys.
Nelson, get out of there, Nelson.
We got gray keys. We got keys in every size you can eat.
Sorry about that, guys. Crazy Nelson came out of nowhere, guys. Crazy Nelson, man. All right, guys, stay out of trouble. Keep training. Put that gi on.